Hello everyone, Happy New Year, Happy 2026. If you don't know me, my name is Igor. I'm a Brazilian photographer based in Berlin, Germany. And today I'm presenting the second TWL Talks. So when I was uploading the first video on YouTube, I decided to create a playlist and then I had to create a name for this. And then I decided, okay, let's go for TWL Talks, which means Travel with Lenses Talks. And similar to the first video, it's just me talking to the camera, no cuts. And every video we will talk about something different. And today I'm talking about what is in my camera bag for 2026. So as you know, I changed my camera bag and I'm now using the Wonder to Provoke V4 31 liters. And I want to show you what I'm carrying on it. And I will start with my main system, which is the Sony 7CR attached to the Sigma 24 to 70 2.8 DGD and ART version 1. And why this is my main system that I'm using. So the 7CR, for those who don't know it, so are not familiar to the Sony camera lineup, the R means more resolution, so we have more, our cameras are more dedicated for photography with higher megapixels and all the characteristics of the camera mostly for photography use. And when we have the C cameras are because they are smaller. So there is still full frame but in small bodies. So the 7CR is the small full frame camera body focused on photography. So the advantage of having this 7CR is especially for the size. And since I came from the APS-C lineup of cameras from Sony, the 7CR for me was something that I was looking for. Was a small camera body with a full frame sensor and specifically for photography. What are the downsides that a lot of people always compare and they will say, wow, that's why we should use the 7R5 instead of the CR, is for me one of the main issues or main complaints from the other people are because the 7CR only has one SD card slot, and of course the quality of the viewfinder is better in the 7R5. But for me, the 7CR fits a lot of what I was looking for: a small camera body. I trust my SD cards. I never had an issue with SD cards, so one slot is enough for me. And the lens is a super versatile lens. I cover from 24, I can get some architecture photography. With 70, I can take some portraits. At 50, I can shoot a lot on the street. So the 24 to 70 is a really nice zoom lens combination, uh, especially with the full frame here on the 7CR. And it's a 2.8 lens, so even for low light it performs really well. Sigma lenses are really sharp, so it's a really nice combination, and that's why it's probably the system that I most use. So going for the second camera, so my second system is this one here. So this is the 72-200 Sony G Master 2 attached to the Sony 7C2. So again, for those who are not familiar with the Sony system, the C stands of course for the small compact size cameras and this level 2 here. So this camera here, the 7C2, is comparable to the 7C4, 7.4, Sony 7.4, but it's a little bit more modern and has the new Sony AI autofocus. Both cameras, the 7C2 and the 7CR, came in the same time, so they are quite new. And again, I like the the look of this one. So the 7C2, we can choose to have this silver or all black. I really like the silver version, reminding a little bit of um, old cameras with this silver part on top, which is really nice. And why I pair the 7C2 to the 7200 is because when I use the 7200, I want to check some details, something that is um, far away, and I want to have a very close focus, so I don't need all the megapixels and all the details that I may have with the 7CR. So the 7C2 has 33 megapixels, which is enough for a lot of things that I do. And why I like to have these two systems here is because I don't need to change lenses, and I can convert from 24 to 200 millimeters. And why I don't want to change lenses? There's several reasons, like changing lenses on the field or outdoors. We can get dust in the sensor. Also, changing when we're changing lenses, sometimes we lose something. So the time of changing lenses, we end up losing our shot. So I always prefer to not change lenses and have the lenses always attached to the camera body, and then I can just quickly snap a shot if I see something. And one example that I use and how I use this a lot is when I'm shooting catwalks, fashion catwalks, for example. So I use the 7200 to get when they are walking from the far away to close to us, and then when they're getting close, then I use the 24 to 70 to get these two shots when they are in the end of the walkway. So this is a really nice combination, and when I do that, I don't have time to change lenses, so it's just easy to grab a camera and grab the other camera because the models walk very fast. There's no time to change lenses, so this is one reason why I'm carrying two cameras with two lenses, and these are the kits that I mostly use when I travel, just taking two cameras and two lenses. But sometimes we want to shoot a little bit larger, for example, for um, architecture photography, we want to do something larger. And for that, I have here just a small lens, but it's the Sony 16 millimeters 1.08 G lens, and it's really good lens. It's a 1.8, it's 16, so we can get a very wide aperture um, view, and it's super interesting. Even for shooting portraits, we can get very creative using a 16 millimeters lens for portraits, and it's 1.8. And there is another prime lens that I carry, which is also very small and light. Is this one here is 50 millimeters 1.8 Sony lens. And again, those two here are so small, I can just fit anywhere in the camera bag. And it's really good when, for example, I need to have an aperture higher than 2.8, so I can get 1.8 here. So for low light, it's super good. And again, the 16 give us this wide view that is still missing on my zoom cameras here. And again, the small and lightweight is super good. I wish Sony can produce more of this year, this G series of 1.8. I know that they have the 20, they have the 16, and I hope they will make more of those lenses. It's super nice to have this G series of lenses in 1.8 in a small format. Okay, so what else I have in my camera bag? So to carry these systems and cameras, I have a strap. It's very comfortable strap. I always have it. In fact, this is my second one. The first one was already I used too much already, and this is the Sigma small rig strap. So all my cameras have the quick release to the small rig, and I can just use it to any of these two cameras. Also, on my camera bag is also another small rig, but this one is for handheld, so you can just put here on my pulse. Also very comfortable and also has the quick connection to the camera. So I use just a small rig straps, which are super comfortable, and I can just wear it the whole day. To clean the equipment, a blower is essential, and we must have item in the camera bag. And one new item that I recently got, and I previewing my short videos, is this one here. That's the Viltrox 2X teleconverter, and this goes with the 7200. So this teleconverter will make my 7200 in 140 to 400. So giving me 2x, 2 times more range, and the quality is amazing. So you can check some of my photos on my short content videos, and quality is super good, but also the quality of the teleconverter itself. So it's all metallic, super nice. It's an amazing gear from Viltrox, and it pairs really well with the Sony cameras and the Sony lenses. Look, the color is matches with the Sony color. So the Viltrox did an amazing product here, and again, it's much cheaper than the teleconverter from Sony itself, and the performance is super good. And now it doesn't leave my camera bag. So now I can, if I need more range and if I need some 400 millimeters, I have here, and I don't need to buy another lens. I have my teleconverter here. We talk about the cameras, we talk about SD cards. So I have my SD cards here. I'm using SanDisk SD cards. Never had any issue with my SanDisk SD cards. And I have my SD cards case here. And to go in front of the lenses, sometimes we need filters. So I have my filter case here, and some of my filters is my circular polarizer from, this one is from Polar Pro. I have a ND 1000 here from KNF Concept, and Bearable ND from Freewell. And if you see, I only have these filters, and they're all on 82 millimeters thread. And then since I have different lenses, what I do is I use step up rings. So I use step up rings. So I just need to buy one lens at the 82 size, and then I attach a step up rings, and then I can use my filters in all of my lenses. So I don't need to buy a filter per lens. So this is an alternative that I use to just use one filter and different lenses. Another thing that we need when you're carrying cameras is battery. So here's my battery case. I have 3 spare batteries for these 2 Sony cameras. So this can hold me for few days without having to charge my camera, my cameras, both of my cameras. So I usually don't need to change during one day. I don't need to change battery. So this Sony batteries will last for a long time. Another thing that I have on my camera bag is this small multi-tool from Small Rig. I also have other multi-tools from Small Rig. There's one which is a little bit bigger, but it looks like a pocket knife. And sometimes when I'm in the airplane, they stop me when I'm carrying this, and then I need to show it's a multi-tool, and then they allow me to pass. But then I decided to get this keychain multi-tool, and no one stopped me on the airports when I'm having this multi-tool that is a keychain. So I think maybe it's the format or the size, but no one stops on the airports for this one here, but the other one that looks more like a pocket knife, people stops. So this is more or less the main camera gear that I carry uh, for everything. But as I mentioned in the last video, I'm doing a lot of portrait photography. And when I do portraits, then I have to carry lights. And that's why I needed to have this roll top bag so I can just put more gear when I need. And usually when I need this, when I'm shooting portraits, so I need lights. And to start talking about lights, I would talk about this RGB light here. Is very small RGB light from Zion. This is the M20 far array light, and not only it's a really nice portable light RGB, but it also came with these accessories here. So we can have a diffuser, we can have a honeycomb, and we can even have barn doors. So it's really nice combination, and this is small but even powerful. So it's 20 watts, and we can get really interesting shots even outdoors. So we can use this outdoors, and it has enough power for outdoor portraits, especially during night. Another light that I have, but it's not continuous light, it's flash, is the Godox V1 Pro. So this is um, I can use it on the hot shoe here, or I can just carry it by hand and shoot with my atometer. So I'm here using here the Godox X3 Pro to connect to the V1. So I can just put the V1 somewhere, or just put the V1 in the light stand, and then I can use the V1. The V1 also comes with this different attachments here, and it's all magnetic, similar to the Zion RGB light. And it's super nice to have tool here. And another thing that is a little bit bulky, but it's something that I'm carrying a lot in my camera bag, is another Godox flashlight. And it's interesting because I can pair also with the View one, so I can use both flashes at the same time. And in here I have the Godox AD200 Pro 2. So although it's a little bit bigger, but it's still a size that I can carry on my backpack and gives me a lot of power, especially when I'm shooting outdoors. So this is something that I need to have. So it's a very important tool when we are shooting outdoors, and we need to have some corrections of the light, and this has enough power to, even in a sunny day, we can use this one here to help us with the light. And again, as you see, this is quite of bulky, and that's why I needed to have a roll top backpack so I can fit all of those lights when I'm shooting portraits. Also, when I'm carrying this Godox, I usually have a softbox, but that I do not carry inside my camera bag, but I attach it outside, as I mentioned in the previous video. But most of all, this is what I carry in my camera bag. Sometimes I do not carry these two lenses here. Again, when I'm shooting portraits, or the 16 is always on my camera bag because I can create creative portraits in landscapes. 16 is good, but the 50 sometimes I don't carry. 50 is when I need very specific shots, I use the 50. So the 50 is probably the one that I do not carry that much. So what can change in 2026? Not sure if I would change a lot. I want to change my Sigma 24 to 70. I want to get the version 2 of this. Version 2 is a little bit lighter, and the quality is improved a little bit. It's more sharp, but I don't know if it'll change. I'm still using a lot my 24 to 70 version 1. It's my most used lens. But if I would change, probably I would change this to a newer version, the Sigma or the Sony G Master 2. So this is one thing that will change. Other than that, I don't see I'm changing any more gears for this year. But we never know. People are launching new cameras. Maybe if Sony decided to launch another G 1.8 lens, would be something that I would get. But so far, that's it. What I carry on my camera bag for 2026. Let me know what are you carrying, what other things are you carrying. If you want to know anything about the gear that I just showed you, let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.